Hey, I'm Catherine, and I'm a travel blogger traveling the world using just weekends and vacation days while working a full-time job. I've lived in Australia twice, but these days I'm based in London, England, and while I mostly travel with friends, every so often I throw in a cheeky little solo trip too. I recently got home from a solo birthday trip to Walt Disney World in Orlando over the Easter weekend, and while in my last video I took you to Animal Kingdom and then Hollywood Studios where I saw Fantasmic, today I'm taking you on my last 2 days at Disney where I went back to Magic Kingdom, rode all the rides, went to EPCOT and even managed to explore Disney Springs and do some shopping. So let's get into all the Disney joy. Good morning, it is my last day at Disney. Today I have my ears back on. I did not wear them yesterday, but I'm doing Magic Kingdom today, so I thought, you know what, I feel like I need the ears. So there we go. And then also, I have my Mickey Mouse t-shirt on. This t-shirt I got from Asda like 2 years ago, I think it was, and I wore it on my little day trip to Disney last February. As in February last year, not this February. But yeah, I'm so sad it's my last day, but also my body is broken, like you guys. I'm not even joking, my body feels like a mess. I'm so tired, and it's only been, I've had 2 park days. I'm like, how do people do this for like 2 weeks, even 1 week? How do people do this? Yeah, but I know, like, I think it's because I've been coming back at like 3-4 o'clock in the afternoon, having like 1 or 2 hours to chill and like get ready and then go out in the evening. Whereas like when I was a child, we would kind of like come back to the hotel after lunch, we would spend a couple of hours by the swimming pool, we would have a nap, we would really decompress and then go back out later. So I think that's where I've gone wrong. I think it's just because I'm not taking enough time in the afternoons to actually rest. But I think it's that thing where like if you were here for longer, you would feel like you could have that time where you could spend more time resting in the afternoon to take it a bit slower. But because I'm only here for 3 full days, I don't really want to waste time just resting in the hotel, you know? So anyway, but I've had the best time. I'm just gonna like enjoy today, make the most of it, go on the ride. Also, I find it so funny, you can like see me in the mirror just there, like, hi. So yeah, that's the plan. Come with me and enjoy Disney with me for 1 more day. Alright, so my last day at Magic Kingdom, I was there bright and early. I made sure that I made full use of my 30-minute early perk from staying at a Disney resort. So I went straight to Peter Pan because the line is always huge for this ride. Even getting there early, there was still a 20-minute wait, but honestly, I was happy with a 20-minute wait. Like, this was nothing compared to normal. It's just such a fun ride to me. Like, it's just so nostalgic. It's really like it's so lovely. I love it. I know that it's kind of, a lot of people hate it. It's like a love or hate ride. I personally love it. Like, it's just so nostalgic and like so whimsical and just very Disney, like very classic Disney. But after that, I needed my Tiana's fix. So luckily it was still so early. The park was dead, like it was so quiet. Look how quiet it is. So I headed straight to Tiana's Bayou Adventure. This was my second ride of the trip. I actually ended up riding it 3 times. I loved it so much. But even though this was my second ride of the day from the rope drop, it was so quiet still. I was so surprised. Again, I waited maybe like 10 to 15 minutes. It really was nothing. Like the queue was nothing. I just cannot get enough of this ride. Like I love it so much. So I'm gonna leave you with the little clips that I got of this because I don't want to talk over them. Bye. I was desperate to ride Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. I've never ridden this before. Usually I'm a Thunder Mountain Railroad girly, but it's closed at the moment. The queue for this was so long, like ridiculously long. It was a great ride, but it was very short. Still prefer Thunder Mountain. And then I needed a pretzel. I decided to go on Haunted Mansion because the queue was pretty short. And then I remembered why I hate the Haunted Mansion. Like, I'm just not a fan. It creeps me out. But never mind. I caught a parade on my way back through to get some Dole Whip. This was delicious. So I just went to get the pineapple Dole Whip, and classic adult, I saw a humongous line and was like, oh my god, that's the Dole Whip line. It wasn't, it was to meet the princesses. The Dole Whip line was empty. But I've just had my pineapple Dole Whip, it was amazing. And now I'm just chilling, just walking through the park. I'm gonna go to Tomorrowland now and do that little area. Waves. On my way through to Tomorrowland, I managed to catch I think it's the Main Street Philharmonic, and oh my gosh, these guys were so amazing. I actually stopped for like 15 minutes to listen to them. I have got about 5 minutes of footage of them playing, and I want you to watch it because they're just so much fun. They're just incredible. So I'm going to leave you for a little bit with this footage. If you want to skip ahead, feel free to do that. I will mark in the video where Tomorrowland is, so you can skip ahead if you want to, but I promise you will not be disappointed if you stop and listen to this band. do think that one of the great things about Disney is just kind of going with the flow. Like, I'm so glad that I caught the band and that I was able to just sit down on the ground and watch them for a while because it really kind of decompressed me a little bit. And I then walked over to Tomorrowland and I did two rides. I did the Carousel of Progress, which I can't remember ever seeing before, but I loved it. It was great to sit down in aircon for 20 minutes. And then I did the People Mover, and I have not done the People Mover since I was a child. But honestly, I loved it. I had the best time. Like, it's just such a relaxing ride. I love that you kind of get to see Disney from another angle. And it was just super relaxing and really kind of peaceful. And I thoroughly enjoyed myself. I also loved that as a solo traveler, a solo rider, I got my own little cart, which was cute. It was just great. Highly recommend.
Now approaching Tomorrowland Transit Authority Station.
My fellow sentient life forms, our people mover journey has nearly come full orbit. Thanks for riding with us. It's been a pleasure to have you aboard. And even though we're concluding, this is always my favorite part.
Now, because it was my birthday weekend, I obviously had to try the Marriott birthday cupcake. It was a little bit too sweet for me, and I was a bit tired by this point. I felt like a change of scenery, so I headed over to EPCOT. Right, I'm just going to get the monorail to EPCOT because I'm desperate to ride Guardians of the Galaxy again. This is when the park hopper ticket comes in really handy, and it's why I love the park hopper so much. Like, I do tend to find that around lunchtime or just after lunch, I get a little bit overwhelmed, a bit overstimulated, and I just really need that break and a different like a kind of change in scenery and a different park to kind of help me feel a bit more rejuvenated and kind of get me back in the like Disney mode, I guess. So yeah, I would recommend the park hopper. I was also really desperate to ride Guardians again. Like, it is hands down my favourite ride. It's up there with Tiana's Bayou Adventure. And Epcot just has such a more relaxed vibe than Magic Kingdom. It's just, yeah, I find it a lot more peaceful, a lot more low key. So I did find that it helped going there after Magic Kingdom. And honestly, 100% worth going just for Guardians. Okay, we're going in again. Let's see which song we get this time.
Our Xandarian system boasts 3 stars or suns, 2 yellow and 1 red. Observant Terrans may have noted your world and ours were born at the same moment.
Hands down, the best Disney ride. 100%. And after another salted pretzel to get my salt levels up, it was time to head back to the hotel to chill. Hello, it's me again. I'm all sweaty and dishevelled. This has just been a standard now for 3 days. I basically came back to my room after a day at Disney. I got back here about 4 o'clock, and then I've literally just for the past 2 hours, I've just laid on the bed. And at first I was like, yeah, I'm gonna like have a shower. I'm gonna like sort my face out, sort my hair out. I haven't. I just laid on my bed for 2 hours and watched American news. So here we are now at 6 o'clock and I'm gonna head back to Disney. My plan now is basically for dinner, I'm just gonna eat all the things. Like, I really wanna go back to Casey's because I haven't been to Casey's for years and I want one of their hot dogs. I also want one of their mint julep lemonades. And then there are a bunch of snacks that I want to eat. So I can never pronounce it, beignets. Yeah, those. I want one of those. I also want the grey stuff cupcake from Gaston. Is it Gaston's Tavern? I think sells those. So yeah, there's just like a bunch of things, snacky things that I really want. So I'm gonna do that. I also want to go back on Tiana's. I've already gone on it twice, but I only need to go on it a 3rd time because I'm just obsessed. I think Tiana's and Guardians of the Galaxy are my top 2 rides so far, but I'm also going to do Tron later. So I have 1 lightning lane left that I'm saving for Tron, but I'm going to wait until after the fireworks because I want to ride it when it's dark, because then it's all lit up. In the daytime, it looks a bit naff. It looks a bit like, why? But at night, it's like all lit up and it looks amazing. So I'm going to do that. And then, yeah, if I have enough energy, like after Tron and the fireworks, I'm going to go to the Grand Floridian because they've got some cute Easter displays apparently. So we'll see what they have there. Yeah, that's my plan. I won't lie, I'm exhausted. I feel a little bit delirious. Like, I'm a little bit like all over the place. My shoulder hurts, my feet hurts, everything aches, and my heart rate's not too bad at the moment, but I'm getting little palpitations. So yeah, I think 3 days has definitely been enough for me and my body. I've loved it. It's been amazing. I've had the best time. It's been so much fun. Oh gosh, I feel like I can do some deep breathing. My breathing is not good right now. But anyway, off I go again. See you there. I highly recommend going back to the hotel in the afternoons to chill. It makes such a big difference. And it meant that I kind of went back to Magic Kingdom. I was excited to be back there. I was ready to kind of explore and do some new things. I got a hot dog. I got my mint julep lemonade. And I tried the beignets, which, oh my goodness, you guys, these were magical. Highly recommend. They were incredible. Definitely getting them again next time. Like, I was quite surprised. The only other beignets that I've had were actually in New Orleans, and these tasted just as good as the ones I had in New Orleans. So I was a happy girly. These were so good. Um, when I was kind of refueled with all my food, I braved the queue for Jungle Cruise. I do love Jungle Cruise, but I'm not sure I will go on it next time I go back to Disney. I'm going back to Disney next year, and I just don't think it's worth the queue, you know? Like, it's a good ride if there's like a queue that's less than 20 minutes. If the queue is over 20 minutes, I would say it's just not worth it. But it was nice to sit down for a little bit. It was also just good for passing the time before Tron. As I mentioned earlier, I really wanted to ride Tron in the dark, so I had to wait for sunset and after sunset. So I timed it perfectly. I managed to get to Tron half an hour before the fireworks. I had a lightning lane for it, so I walked straight on. I loved this ride. It was my first time on it. I was so nervous and so scared to go on this ride. And I had the best time. Like, I really, really enjoyed it. It was so much fun. Like, it was just electrifying and just made me like giggle from how fun it was. So yeah, would definitely recommend doing Tron. Would also recommend doing the lightning lane for it if you can. Because I've heard that the queues are like 2 hours sometimes. And then finally, it was time for the fireworks. Honestly, you just cannot beat Magic Kingdom fireworks. They are pure magic. immediately after the fireworks, I legged it to Tiana's. I
Last
was literally
ride.
running. Everybody was running to try and get there before a huge queue formed. Thankfully, there was no queue. It was amazing. I got straight on, but look at my heart rate. It was 139, and that was like after I'd calmed down and had kind of was now walking onto the ride. But totally worth it. It was so good to go on it one last time. You guys know I love this ride, and it was really nice to go on it at night as well and see it all lit up. Really loved it. It is worth noting that you can go on rides after the fireworks as well before the park officially closes. But after Tiana's, I was ready to go. I was so tired. So, yeah, I headed for the buses, got the bus back to the resorts, and it was just the most perfect final day at Disney. I had such a great time, and it made me want to go back again. So, I have already booked to go next year.
3 days at Disney. Done. I'm so tired now. Good morning. So it is my last morning at Disney World. Well, yesterday was my last proper day at Disney World where I did the parks. Today I'm checking out of my Disney resort and I'm gonna have quite a chilled out day today before I head over to the Marriott World Center Orlando where I will be just for tonight. And the reason that I'm in that hotel is because I got my flights wrong. So basically, I booked 4 nights at the Disney Resort, and I don't know why, but like, I booked the wrong flights basically. I just miscalculated it. So instead of booking my flights to fly tonight, I accidentally booked them to fly tomorrow night instead. So then I was like, oh my gosh, I was like, what do I do? Do I book an extra night at Disney? But then that was like way more, that was like a lot of extra money for a mistake. So I was like, you know what, I had a free night at the Marriott with my credit card. If I spend over a certain amount a year, which I always do, you get a free night at a Marriott hotel. If it's like under a certain amount of points or something. Anyway, so I used that. So tonight is free basically, other than the resort fee, which is like $40, I think. But yeah, it's a lot cheaper than an extra night at the Disney Resort. Anyway, so that is why I'm changing hotels and I'm going to the Marriott Resort later this afternoon. But today, it's been a bit of a weird one so far. It's 9:30 now. But I woke up so early, I had such a bad night's sleep, and I woke up early, and the Pope has died. And I'm Catholic, and I love Papa Francesco. Papa Francesco is like, mwah, love him to bits. So I was really sad this morning. I was literally just moping in bed, watching the news. Like, what do I do? I was trying to see if there were like any services happening in any of the churches nearby. Couldn't see anything online. They don't update their social media very often. So yeah, anyway, so I went for breakfast, had some Mickey waffles, which cheered me up a little bit. And yeah, and now I'm gonna check out of my room like now. And then I'm gonna do a bit of a resort hop because originally last night I was going to do a resort hop after the fireworks and doing the final rides that I wanted to do. But it was so late, I was so tired, my feet were killing me. So after I rode Tiana's for the third time, I was like, you know what, I just need to go to bed. So I'm going to do a bit of a resort hop this morning because I really want to see the Easter display at the Grand Floridian Resort. So I think I'm going to get the shuttle bus over to Magic Kingdom and then the monorail to Grand Floridian. Have a look at a couple of the resorts over that way that are on the monorail. And then I'm going to get a shuttle bus to Disney Springs and go for lunch at Disney Springs, probably at the boathouse. And then after that, I'm going to come back to the hotel, get my bags, go to the Marriott, leave my bags there, and then I'm gonna do some more shopping. I don't think I've told you guys yet, but I've done a lot of shopping on this trip. I had to buy a new bag because I did so much shopping. I went to the Vineland premium outlets on my first evening here. I bought all the things. Let me show you the bag. I had to buy a gigantic new bag from Nike because I bought so much. Gosh, and to be fair, like that bag is very full, but I bought, on my way out from Heathrow, I bought a giant 100 ml bottle of my Penhaligon Solaris perfume. So that's big and heavy. And then my first evening here, I went to the outlets and I bought a new Coach handbag. I bought some new like clothes and t-shirts. I bought gifts for people from the Disney Character Warehouse. And then at Disney, I bought some things at Disney, and I know that bag looks like a lot, but it's just because I kind of moved a bunch of things from my little suitcase over to that bag that I want to check in when I fly, so that my hand luggage is lighter. So it's not all stuff that I've bought. I haven't bought an entire bag of things, but it is a lot. So yeah, and I'm going to buy more. Like, I'm going to the other premium outlets at International Drive later this afternoon. So once I've checked in at Marriott, I'm gonna get an Uber up to the other outlets, have a look there. Things are just so much cheaper here than in the UK. Like Coach, like their handbags are half the price here, and I love them. I've got a few of them now, and they're just half the price here. So obviously I'm gonna buy them when I'm here. And then I also need to find a CVS or a Publix or a Target or something, because I need my melatonin gummies to take back with me. I need my cheap liquid IV. And then I also need to stock up on Tylenol PM. So yeah, bunch of things that I just need to get before I leave. But anyway, that's the plan for today. And then this evening, I'm so excited. I've got a booking at Brother Jimmy's Barbecue. Brother Jimmy's Barbecue is, it was one of my favourite restaurants in New York. They closed all the New York locations. There's only the one in Florida now, I think. So as soon as I saw that the Orlando one was still open, I was like, oh my God, I have to go there. So that's where I'm going for dinner tonight. If I have the energy after, I want to go to, there's a bar, I think it's called PBR Cowboy Bar, and it's like a line dancing bar. So I really want to go there. So if I have the energy, I will go and check it out, because it's near Brother Jimmy's Barbecue. And then yeah, and then tomorrow I'm just gonna have a lazy pool day and just chill before my evening flight. So yeah, that is the plan. Anyway, come with, and yeah, let's have a nice quiet couple of days in Orlando outside of Disney. So I got the bus from Coronado Springs to Magic Kingdom. I won't lie, it was slightly weird going to Magic Kingdom and not actually going into the park. I just kind of bypassed the park and went straight to the monorail. But it was also kind of nice knowing that I was having a more relaxed day than the previous few days. So yeah, I got the monorail. I took it I did a little resort hop, although I just visited the Grand Floridian, but the monorail did take me the whole loop around the lake, which was really nice. I have to say, I do love the monorail. I think it's my favourite form of like Disney transport. It's just so unique. And after going through the Contemporary, which was really cool, we finally got to Grand Floridian to find that the Easter display had been taken down. Why did they take it down the evening of Easter? So Easter Sunday was the day before this. So I assumed that it would still be there on Easter Monday. No, they had removed it. So I was devastated about that. So I just went into the little shops in the hotel. The shops there are really cute. They have some really nice things, but it's all very expensive. Um, and then I decided to head to Disney Springs, so walk to the bus stop at the hotel. I will say this hotel is stunning. Like the details of everything are just beautiful. Like it's such a beautiful hotel. But I don't think I'd want to stay there. Like it's not really my vibe. It's a little bit oldie woldy. But I'm desperate to stay at the Polynesian next time I go.
But anyway, I finally got to Disney Springs and did some shopping, got some bits for my dad from Ron John's surf shop. My parents live in Cornwall on the beach and my dad surfs, so I just wanted to get him a few little things from Ron John's. And then, yeah, I just had a wander around Disney Springs before heading to the boathouse for lunch. You guys, I love this place so much. Like, it was probably one of my favorite restaurants that I visited the whole time I was in Orlando. Everything was just perfect. Like, this mocktail was amazing. The menu was stunning, like, truly stunning. And they were so helpful as well. I couldn't decide between the taco and the lobster roll. So they said they would bring me one taco so I could try the taco and then also have the lobster roll. So I was a very happy girl. I was thrilled. Both of them were amazing, so I'm really glad that I did get both, and I would highly recommend getting both of them as well. Like, look at all that lobster. It was just incredible. And then after Disney Springs, I then had to get the bus back to the resort, pick up my luggage from the resort. Luckily, they're really good at keeping your luggage for you in like a separate little room, so that you can kind of enjoy the day without needing to carry your luggage around, which is handy. So yeah, picked up my luggage and then got an Uber over to the Marriott World Centre. And apparently this Marriott is the biggest Marriott in the whole world. Like, it is huge, it's ginormous. But I wasn't a huge fan of it. After being at a Disney resort, it just felt so gross. It just felt really old and tired, and I just wasn't a big fan of
Oh
it.
my god. Oh
So
my god.
yeah, I'm kind of sad that I ended my
Wow.
trip in this Marriott.
Not expecting that. Okay, so I've just checked into the Marriott World Center. I think it's called the Marriott World Center Orlando. It's a bit of a mouthful, but I've just checked in after. I did not want to check out of that Disney resort, I'm not gonna lie. Like, being in that little Disney bubble, I wasn't expecting to love it as much as I did. Like, I really, really loved it. It was just like, it just felt so lovely. And I really did not want to check out and leave it and come to a Marriott. I mean, but I just checked in. She did not tell me what room I had. Bearing in mind, I booked this hotel basically like with a free night voucher that I had in my Marriott account. I mean, I have to show you this room. I just walked in and I was like, what the hell? I have to show you and turn you around. Hang on a minute. Okay, so I just walked in and I was like, oh, a living room. Have I got a little junior suite? And then I was like, hang on, the bedroom is through there in a separate room. So what is round here? Wait until you see. I have a whole dining room. I have a whole apartment, guys. I have a whole apartment. Look at it. Like, what? I have a great big living room. This room is bigger than my house. I have, like, my house in London, I think is probably only a tiny bit bigger than this. So we have this little living room with a humongous TV, a whole balcony, a whole dining area. Like, what? Oh my gosh. This is wild. I'm so confused. And then we come through here to the bedroom. Although this bedroom's a little bit odd because you've kind of got to keep the doors open to have a window, which feels a little bit strange. It's kind of like you're in like a cupboard, and also the ceiling is a lot lower. I don't know if you can see. That ceiling is a lot lower than this one. So it feels a little bit like a hobbit house in this bedroom. Very odd, but, oh, and then this loops back around here. I'm just gonna, here we go. Ta-da! Welcome to my humble abode. And then here we have the bath and shower. And toilets. Okay, I will do a proper room tour when I get sorted. And when I kind of like absorb all of this. I'm just a bit like, what is happening?
So I chilled by the swimming pool, which was nice, but it kind of got cloudy in the afternoon. And then I did actually make it to Brother Jimmy's barbecue that evening for dinner, which was amazing. Like it was just as good as I remembered it being in New York. So that was great. Like thoroughly enjoyed it. Could not finish it all though. And after a great sleep, I woke up bright and early the next morning and obviously had to go to IHOP for breakfast because did I even go to America if I didn't go to IHOP and get my standard Arnold Palmer with my pancakes, eggs, hash browns, and sausages? I don't think so. Then finally, it was time to go to Walmart.
Alright, so I just got back from Walmart. Here are my goodies. This is what I pick up every time I come to the US. I'm obsessed with Smart Sweets. I usually get them in the airport on my way out, but they had them in Walmart, so I picked up some. I also am obsessed with the Tate's Bake Shop cookies. I usually either get the choc chip or the oatmeal raisin. They did not have choc chip, so I just got the oatmeal raisin today. I also stock up on toothpaste because their mini toothpastes are just a much better size than the UK mini ones. They're like double the size, but still within the liquid allowance for like short breaks and weekends away. So I always get some of those. I also always get Neosporin. I stock up every time I come. It's just really handy to have and to travel with. I also always stock up in a big 100 caplet pack of Tylenol PM. It's a combination of paracetamol and an antihistamine, and I am an allergy girly. I have a lot of allergies, so I find these really useful, especially around hay fever season. I also get the big bumper packs of Band-Aids. I think Band-Aids are just a much better quality than the Elastoplast plaster brand we have in the UK. They're a lot stronger, they last a lot longer, and I just much prefer them. So I always stock up on those. So I've got 160 to take home with me. And then lastly, my melatonin gummies. I always stock up on these. I get the big packs of the extra strength, but instead of having the 2 gummy dosage, I just have 1 gummy, which is 2.5 milligrams of melatonin. And I find that works really well for me. I've also got an extra one for my travel bestie, Aftab. He asked me to pick one up for him. I've just got 2 for myself. And that's it. That is my lovely little supply package that will basically last me until I next come to the US.
And that was it. It was time for my trip to finish. I waited for my Uber driver and I had the best Uber driver. He was this lovely Peruvian man and we got chatting about how much I love Peru, how amazing it is, all the food I ate there last year and just spoke about everything. I love taxi rides like that. It was just so nice. But Orlando Airport, can we please have a moment for this airport because it is one of my favourite airports. It's small, it's compact, but it has everything you need. And my taxi driver gave me this little Mulan toy, which I'm going to treasure forever. So that is it. Please subscribe if you haven't already, like this video, and I will see you very soon for more travels. Thanks for watching. Bye!